Travel expands your consciousness. Literally. This is not some silly metaphor. I do mean this in the literal sense. In a way, when you go to a new place, you become conscious of that place in a material and spiritual way. The shape, manner, and way of a place become a part of your memory, embedded in your being for the rest of your life. And from that point on, that place, the life that is inhabited by it, will forever be a part of you. The way you observe life and the context of your thoughts will forever be influenced by the experience you earn on the road. Sometimes that influence is small, almost imperceptible. At other times, the impact is much larger, much deeper. The first real taste, that taste of consciousness expanding travel, for me, was a trip to New Mexico when I was young, maybe 14. I had, of course, gone on family road trips before, but those were almost always to Florida. Those trips were always the typical thing. Go to Disney World and visit the grandparents. Time spent with family is a good thing. But dreams are not made of plastic fairylands filled with weirdos in giant cartoon suits. That is the realm of nightmares. In contrast, 2 weeks traversing the trails and 2 tracks of the southern range of the Rocky Mountains is the thing that dreams are made of. And that time left a permanent mark on my consciousness. To this day, there is not an hour that passes without thoughts of mountains and hidden meadows lurking in the recess of my mind. And like your first love, conscious altering travel has a way of staying with you forever. But your first taste does not need to be your last. It's a big world out there, and you're never going to see it all. There are incredible vistas, natural wonders, and beautiful cityscapes. There are things that will leave you with a sense of awe and wonder, and then there are things that will just leave you wondering why. And when you leave each of these places, a piece of them will be taken with you. Forever, a part of your consciousness will be with them. A connection will exist between you and what you have seen and experienced. Your mind, for the rest of your life, will be slightly expanded, and your decisions will be in a small part influenced by your time spent in these places. And now I come to the heart of the matter in my own place and time. I am a man, and more importantly, I am a father. As fathers, we are charged with many responsibilities. Among those is to shepherd the young minds in our care into adulthood. What better way is there to expand a couple of young ones' consciousness than to expose them to the broader world? It's one thing to see mountains in a video or a picture. It's another thing entirely to see them in person. And just like my own travels, which expanded consciousness, I know that these experiences expand their sense of scope in a tangible way. When you stand at a lake, you can imagine what it's like to be at the ocean, but you won't know the smell of the sea until you dip your toes into its salty waters. And if you grow up in a water-rich environment, you have no concept of just how dry and dusty a desert can be. Likewise, temperate, wooded lands often hide the harsh lines of nature's landscape. Rocks, boulders, and cliffs are hidden behind a sea of leaves in most places, if they exist there at all. And if you grew up in a flat patch of earth, then it's easy to imagine that the local hill is a mountain. But until you descend down through the clouds on some mountain road, only then will you understand how big the world can be. And each time your world grows, so must your awareness and consciousness grow with it. I grew up with characters like Ranger Rick and stories about far-off places like the Redwood Forest. Fortunately, my children don't need to imagine what it's like to see truly tall trees. All they need to do is remember them. The concept of water eroding away the surface of the earth over eons of time can be intangible, even to an adult. But a kid who's seen the Grand Canyon and heard its story will forever be conscious of time's slow, unstoppable march. If we think about it, even our rural areas are crowded. That means if you get to experience places where you don't see a living human for a whole day, then you grow to appreciate the wild and barren landscapes of a place like Wyoming. Even the touristy places can expand one's consciousness. I know it's cliche these days to dog on places like SeaWorld and the neighborhood zoo, but how are most children these days supposed to connect with wild animals? In a time long forgotten, we hunted them, or in turn, we were hunted by them. We all were intimately familiar with the wild. But how is a child, or for that matter an adult, to be conscious of such beasts these days? A TV? A magazine? A book? No. This is the best way to see and experience them. And without experiencing them, how is one to appreciate, protect, and conserve such things? And dare I say it, even the most cliche thing of Western consumerism can expand one's consciousness. Yes, even a day spent in a place like the Mall of America can be a good thing. There's something to be said about spending a carefree day distracted by meaningless, cheap attractions. It reminds us that it's okay to spend time having fun for fun's sake alone. And on your worst days, you know that all you have to do is take a break and go play. So go out there, leave the house, leave your city, leave your county, and leave your state. Find roads that are hardly traveled. Go out of your way and see things that you have never seen. Do things that you have never done. Visit friends that you have no excuse to see. Make friends that you will never see again. Race to get places and take forever to leave. Gain more experience than you will ever remember, because travel expands your consciousness, and your consciousness is what makes you human.
Did we just get up out of our tent and get up out of bed?
Yeah.
And you're wearing one of my sandals?
Yep.
Where did you find that sandal at?
It's next to the tent.
Next to the tent?
Yeah.
Was it right here?
Yeah.
Where's the other one at?
I know the cup.
How to get under the truck?
I didn't know.
And why does it look all chewed up?
There it is right there. And look, it's all chewed up.
Must be rattlesnake.
Must be a rattlesnake?
Yeah, rattlesnake. That's
I don't think that's a rattlesnake. Something else got Daddy's sandal and he tried to chew it up. Aren't you glad to put your sandals up in the bag?
It wasn't me.
No, I don't think you would be chewing up my sandal. Oh, that's funny. Biggest canyon in the world, and all the entertainment we need is a puddle.